Hello sweepers and beepers and welcome back to the channel. Let's go detecting. Wow, the weather has well and truly taken a turn and it is now officially, meteorologically speaking at least, winter. Now I'm one of the lucky ones. I live only an hour or so from the coast, so I can still get out for some winter beach detecting while the fields are a little bit waterlogged. But for a lot of you more inland, the detecting season might be starting to wind down a bit. But before you put your Nokta Legend in the cupboard until spring, we absolutely need to have a look and a chat about its winter service. I know, a little bit of mud looks cool, yes. Gives it some character, maybe. But honestly, underneath that cool factor, there's hidden grit, salt and black sand, and those are your machine's worst enemies. If you store this thing when it's filthy, you are generally asking for corrosion, cracked bits of plastic, come the warmer weather. So today, we're doing a proper deep clean. I'm going to show you the 3 key areas that most people totally forget, including the one simple mistake that will completely destroy your machine's waterproofing. Trust me, you do not want to skip that bit. Okay, before we go any further, you're going to need to dismantle your Nokta Legend. So to do so, ensure it's powered off at the control box. Disconnect the coil cable from the control box. Turn it counterclockwise, gently pull, counterclockwise, gently pull, counterclockwise, gently pull until it comes away freely from the control box. Then uncoil the cable from the shafts. The next step, open the cam locks on the rear, midway, and separate the shafts from the machine. When you've done that, you'll be left with 2 shafts, one of which, the lower one, connected to the coil. This is the bit we're going to look at now, the coil. So to look at the coil, we're going to need 3 tools, and they are a toothbrush, a brush, soft brush, very soft brush, and something like GT85, a PTFE silicone-based spray that also is a water dispersant. Do not use WD-40 unless it's the PTFE version, because that will attack the rubber seals I'll show you later. So you may think your coil is spotless. Have a look at this. Pop off the coil cover, and inside here on the back, this might be clean, but ensure that all these little bits here are clear of any debris, especially the toe and the heel of the coil, toe and heel. Because if they've still got debris in there, when you put your coil cover back on, which should also be spotlessly clean, you're going to get small bits of debris into the air gap between here, and that will give you the false signal trap. So ensure that's clean. Give that a good scrub with your brush and your toothbrush. Rinse them off in cold water. When they're air dried and they're free from all moisture, reattach the cover to the coil. When it stops clicking, you know you're fully covered. The next thing we'll look at is the ears of the coil. Okay, these take the highest stress point of the whole machine. So what we're going to do, we're going to take our little spindle bolt and remove it. So undo that. As you can see there, just undoing it by fingers. The little nut. Push through the bolt and separate the shaft just by pulling it from the coil. Now put the shaft aside, we'll come back to that later. We're now looking at the coil ears. Take your toothbrush and just give the outside of it a good scrub and the inside a good scrub. Remove every bit of loose sand and debris you can see in there. When you're happy, put that to one side and check the cable. Run your hands along the length of the cable, and what you're doing is checking for any blisters, bulges, tears, splits, anything out of the ordinary. And when you get to the end, this is the bit you need to concentrate on. Inside there, and I'm going to pop a picture up in a second to show you this in daylight, is a little rubber O-ring. Do not use Vaseline on this rubber O-ring. that will perish it and expand it and then perish it. Just give it a very quick spray with WD-40, not WD-40, GT85. WD-40 is a name we always go to, isn't it? GT85, inside there, wipe away the excess with a cloth. You can also do the same with the pins to make sure they're okay. And let that dry. That is your coil looked after. We're then going to go to the shaft. And again, wipe the shaft down, make sure it's clear of all debris, salt crystals, anything nasty like that. Look at the end pieces here. You've got little rubber grommets inside there. Okay, once they get sand inside there, they act as sandpaper and they wear away. So make sure they're still there and they're good and they're not split. Give them a squirt with the GT85 as well. And just a little squirt and run your finger over. Just that to make sure it's okay. And then do the same on the other side. Gentle squirt. Rub in. There we go. Just making sure that's slightly lubricated. Not a lot, just enough to cover it. There we go. Once you're happy with that, reinsert this bit into the end of your coil. Let's give it a little back and forward motion. Take your shaft bolt. Reinsert that. A little nut. Put that back on. He says, trying to do it off camera. There we go, spin that up. Just so it just nips gently. Coil up the cable. Put this aside, ready for reassembly. The next step, I'm just putting that to one side, so I'm a little bit off the camera line there, is to look. Now imagine, obviously, mine's dismantled. I haven't got the coil cable on or the lower shaft, just got this little bit here, okay, on the bottom shaft and this bit on the handle. If you've submerged this in seawater, you will need to ensure that this part here is cleaned. And to do that, with the cam lock open, immerse it in some water. Warm water is good. And just activate that backwards and forwards a few times, clearing out any of the debris that's inside. If need be, agitate it in the water, give it a shake, and come back to doing it. When you're happy that you've removed all the salt, sand and dirt, leave them open at both ends and let them air dry. Okay. When you're happy that it's all dry, reassemble your machine, adjust it accordingly. I usually collapse mine down, or I leave it as is so I know it's ready to go. Last thing you need to look at on the cleaning side of things is the control box itself. Ensure that the control box has been cleaned with warm water and a damp cloth. Make sure you look at the speaker grills, they're clear of any obstructions, and the main one to look at are the buttons. Okay, what you need to do there is just using a small soft Q-tip is make sure that all the indentations are clear of any debris. This also allows you to see if you have any splits or tears in the membrane, which would obviously allow moisture into your control box, which is not good. And the final thing for your winter storage is the battery itself. The Legend has an internal LiPo battery, and there's a golden rule for long-term storage. Do not, and I mean do not, store it completely flat. Ideally, you're looking for the storage charge to be around about 50 to 70%. So that's 2 to 3 bars on the display. This keeps the battery chemistry nice and stable. If you leave it at 0% for 4 months, it may not wake up when you come back in spring, and that's an expensive fix. So there you go, guys. A quick 15-minute service today saves you a massive repair bill down the line. Now your Legend is safe, fully waterproof, and ready to go for the first 4 next spring. If this has been useful, give it a thumbs up, i.e. like, and if you haven't already, do me a solid and hit the subscribe button. Now next week, we're heading back into the lab, the house, for an iron filter masterclass, and you won't want to miss that. But as always, sweepers and beepers, if you're out and about, happy hunting, stay safe, and I'll see you on the next video. Take care, everyone. Thank you.